Hello, my Plantiful Goddess, and welcome back to another episode. Guys, I want to talk about something so important today. It's literally 4 a.m. here in Germany for me. And I'm recording this after not being able to sleep and after having a lot of thoughts going on in my mind. There have been a lot of changes for me recently. A lot of upgrades, a lot of new ways that I want to go in life and in business. And that has been making me pretty anxious. And, waking up at 2 a.m. in the morning and then just having all of these thoughts, thinking about everything that I want to accomplish, everything that's about to come, the responsibility, all of it. I just started realizing like, oh my God, there's a lot that's coming up. And, I've been having those episodes once in a while where, I go, and then my body literally tells me like, girl, okay, take a moment to process everything that has been happening. And so today I just really want to talk about the importance of needing to take a step back sometimes and not always going, because this is kind of, again, the society that we live in, right? It's all about, once we achieve one thing, it's about going straight to the other thing and then going straight to the other thing and feeling like you always have to accomplish so much. And, of course, I've been also debating, should I record this at 4 a.m. in the morning? But I just really want to get this out there because I think it's so important that we do acknowledge that even people that we might be admiring online are also going through times where they have to always learn more themselves and grow themselves as well, right? So just because, it worked out right the first time, just the next time you're still gonna doubt yourself if it's gonna be the right move that you're doing. So basically, I also had a moment yesterday where I feel like I've been constantly doing so much and working towards the next thing that I also didn't have a moment where I could just like take a step back and actually reflect. Like, my days are so busy, and I'm sure you can relate. My days are so busy where, I do have a schedule of like waking up, meditating, going to the gym, going back home, eating, and starting to work. And then after work, there's more responsibilities, more things that you have to do. And even though, I don't have children yet that I have to take care of, it still feels like a lot, having to show up every single day and having to do so many things that can get overwhelming. And of course, then waking up at 2 a.m. in the morning and then having all of these thoughts and all of these questions and I wouldn't even call it anxiety, but just like, anxious kind of thoughts, I guess, right? So, I've also been having this discussion with my assistant coach, and she also is currently going through a huge transformation, and her body has been reacting to that in her mind as well, where, anxiety was taking over and emotions started to take over. And we also had the discussion that sometimes in life, these things happen for a reason. We feel like this for a certain reason because we're stepping out of our comfort zone. We're doing something that is new to us, that is not known. And, when you do something where you don't know what the or what the result is going to be and how the way is going to look like in 2 months from now or 3 months from now or all of that, it's normal to feel this way, right? I mean, we as humans, we want security, right? We want to be safe. We want to make sure that, we're going to have enough money. We're going to have a house to sleep in. We're going to be able to pay our bills. We're going to be able to do all of this. And whenever, we are in a position where there's a transformational shift happening, and all of this is starting to be questioned, of course, it can make us feel like the whole world is crashing down on us. But these are the moments where you are tested by the universe. You're tested to see if this is really where you want to go and the step that you really want to take, right? That's why it's so important to really practice being present on a daily basis. Because when we don't practice that, when we don't reflect and don't allow ourselves to also celebrate our wins and celebrate our achievements, we will be stuck in that rut of always having to go and do more. And then whenever there is a change, it can get very overwhelming. It can get very too much, right? We just don't know what that means, and we don't know if that's the right way to go. So that's why every time you have a low moment and you start to question yourself, you start to ask yourself, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? This is a very crucial moment in your life, because this is either way your body responding that yes, you are on the right track and being scared is okay, but keep going. Or your body is responding and telling you red flags, this is not supposed to go how it's going. And if you do, especially we as women, we have a pretty good intuition, and our intuition will always determine a lot of the choices that we make in a day. But again, most women that I've met, including myself, are so in their masculine energy that when you're too much in your masculine energy, you're going to lose track of that intuition. You're not going to even be connected to that intuition. Because intuition is very natural. It's a very natural thing that all of us women have. But of course, when we are constantly going and never allowing ourselves to just be, to receive, to be present, then it makes a lot of sense that we get overwhelmed and that things are too much. And that we get confused about if we listen to our intuition, if that was the right move. And, I have a million of stories to tell about how I ignored my intuition, and I knew deep down my body was giving me signals that I should or shouldn't have done a thing. But my mind would come into place. My masculine energy would take over and it would tell me, no, you're overreacting or you're just wrong, because the mind is logical, right? The mind is looking for logic, whereas the body is very intuitive. And so this was a point where, again, not only one point, but many points in my life where I just realized I completely ignored what my body was doing or what my body was giving me in terms of signals. And so same thing here again yesterday, my body was giving me signals like, girl, take your time to analyze what's going on. Take your time to take a step back and see the bigger picture here. Because again, I've been going so much that once you're stuck in that, it feels great because you feel great and you feel like, oh, you're accomplishing so many things. But there's going to be eventually a moment where you're going to hit a wall. And that's what happened yesterday. My body was giving me signals like, girl, slow down, go on a walk and analyze. And oftentimes what happens is when we're in a good mood, when we are full of energy, we feel like we don't need a break. We feel like we can just keep going. And that to me is a big problem. And I've done this mistake over and over again as well, where I was just full of energy, full of motivation, full of inspiration, that I didn't feel like I needed to take a break. I didn't feel like I needed to take, a 1 hour lunch break where I go on a walk usually and I digest and then I come back full of energy, where I do spend time with my friends in the evenings, right? Where I do have different plans than just work in the evenings or on the weekend. And so that's why it's important to create a balance from the start, whatever you're doing in your life right now. It's so, so important to be clear on that. If you hear my stomach, it's because apparently I'm hungry at 4 a.m. in the morning. But yes, so that's what I was saying. Like, your body's gonna give you signals, and we as females, we as human beings of holding, and not even females, like everyone, right? Every human being on this planet has feminine energy in them, and getting that feminine energy out means taking a step back. analyzing in a intuitive way and being more in the body. My body yesterday was literally so tired, and of course it was the full moon as well, but it was literally giving me signals like, girl, you exhausted, you just need a break. And it's okay to take a 2-hour break in the afternoon, that's why you're having your own business. But Jess didn't do that, and here I am living with the consequences of waking up at 2 a.m. in the morning and being like, hey, mind, can you just not talk to me right now? But I know that when you're listening to this, you can relate, because I know that this is something that many women go through, or many humans go through, and something that I think we should all learn to allow ourselves to take a step, to listen, to understand that transformational journeys are gonna be overwhelming, and they're gonna be a lot, and they're gonna question or make us question us things, and of course be challenging as well. That's another thing. Oftentimes what I personally am a little bit against is, creating your dream life isn't always super easy how the internet might portray, right? It always says, oh, find your passion, money's gonna follow. Yes, in some extent, yes, because when you find something that you love, you're going to be doing it with dedication and passion, but there's still hard work behind it. You still need to understand how you can make it a paying thing, right? That people pay you for it. You still need to find the right people that want to pay you for it. You still need to do the marketing. You still need to, set things into place. It's not only about doing the thing every day and then eventually, expecting things to fall into place. Especially, of course, if you're just starting out, that's a time where it's not gonna be easy. But that's a time where I'm sure it's gonna be worth it, if you stay in it, because most people, again, might give up too early in the journey, because things will get challenging. I've had so many times I questioned myself throughout this entire journey that I've been on, where I questioned if I was good enough, if this is what I wanted to do, if people actually wanted to work with me, and all of these things. But again, that's always going to come up. You're always going to have resistance from yourself or from people or from money or whatever. So yeah, I want to end it on this note that basically a summary of what I just said is really allowing yourself to take a step back, listening more to your body, connecting back with your feminine, understanding that any type of transformational journey, it's okay to feel the way you feel, and to feel overwhelmed, and to feel anxious, right? That's your body just responding. And then you can go a step further and analyze, okay, what is my body trying to tell me here? What am I feeling? And then you will know. Eventually you will know. And even if you don't know in that very moment, you will know later on. And that's the beautiful part about life as well, right? We always try to make everything perfect in life, but life's a journey, and we gotta make mistakes, and we gotta do things that we think might serve us in the first place, but later on they don't actually serve us. So that's important to also, keep in mind that these things are gonna happen. But anyways, I will stop talking now. I hope this was helpful, and, this could inspire you in some kind of way. I would really appreciate if you would reach out to me on Instagram and share with me your thoughts on this as well. Or if you could give me a rating on this on Apple Podcast or iTunes. This would honestly mean the world to me. And it will, of course, help grow the podcast and reach even more people out there, and reach even more goddesses out there that are, that are excited to start their own journey of health and transformation. So thank you so much for listening to this. I hope you have a beautiful day or evening or morning whenever you're listening to this. And until next time.